And a party going in Idaho Falls. We welcome in the BYU football head coach Kalani Sitake with us once again. Just before the show started, we were talking about the fact that we have recently, and by recently I mean in the last few weeks, been talking in Cabo San Lucas and Puerto Vallarta and Ensenada and Los Angeles and St. George, Utah, and now we're in Idaho Falls, Kalani. Are you sick of us yet?
No, I love it. And honestly, I was misinformed. I dressed like I thought it was going to be colder here. So, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that the Idaho Falls would be warmer than Provo right now, but it is. So just excited to be here. Anytime we can talk about BYU football and BYU sports all together, happy to do it, especially in this area. There's a lot of great people in this area, and I have a lot of friends from here. So looking forward to hanging out and mixing with this group.
Yeah, and last week, you guys were down in St. George for the Fan Fest down there. You had the opportunity to stay and do a devotional. Mm-hmm. How did that go, and what was that opportunity like?
Thought it went well. I mean, I don't think anybody left the church because of my talk, so that's good. But you know, we just being able to talk about Christ and about the gospel, and to do it in different settings, and then have more than anything, just have our players be able to share their thoughts and share their testimonies has been amazing to see. I know our fans appreciate it, but I appreciate it as head coach. I've learned from them quite a bit, and they lift me up in many ways, and spiritually to have mentors and people I can learn from that I get to coach is amazing.
In the decade that you have been the head coach, what has been the most prominent change in the meld of faith and football that you have seen for BYU?
I don't think there's any reason why you need to separate the two. You know, I think you can be physical and be competitive and still be a great disciple of Christ. And I don't think this isn't about perfection, but the goal is to try to get there. And so, and then what I like about athletics competition is that you're requiring yourself to be at your best self personally, and then when you can add that to a team concept, it's actually a beautiful thing, and you see a lot of really cool things happen from it. And I'm seeing a lot of service and charity work from our players, and it's keeping them humble, and that's what we got to keep rolling with, is that we got to stay humble, stay hungry, but there's a lot to accomplish and a lot of hard work to do it, but we don't have to. It doesn't have to be such a grind. It can be a lot of fun and fulfilling. And the fulfilling part is our fans and connecting with them.
You know, I know as you're out looking for recruits, you're looking for the right fit for exactly what you're talking about, the people that want that balance in their life, and that's who you're going after. This was a big week. You got 3 official signings: Justin Kirkland, defensive tackle. You got Reggie Frischneck, the wide receiver, and Spencer Need's nephew, Kean Need, a tight end. What will those guys add to the program first? And then secondly, are there any other positions you're looking at to strengthen going into next season as you continue with this recruiting process?
Yeah, I think we're always looking to strengthen the team, but that's the athletic part is going to take care of itself. It's more of the fit of the program and the culture. And the one thing that I do love about these 3 young men is that they're great fits in the locker room. They happen to play great football too, and the talent, the potential is there to perform on the field, but who they are, I'm excited that they get to connect with our players. They're just like us, and so they're going to be around a team that are like-minded, you know, and they have I mean, you look at it like these guys represent exactly what BYU football should be, and so I'm glad they're in our program and in our family. And I mean, Kean's right from here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's great athletes all over the place, and I'm lucky I get to coach them and even get to recruit them, those that get into the portal.
Coach, specifically, what will Justin Kirkland bring to the defensive line, which is a group where you had a lot of movement and some guys leave, and you had a significant need as far as depth goes?
Well, he's joining a group of really tough D linemen and well coached with Sione Poha and obviously with Jay Hill as a coordinator, and you get people like Chad Kahaha and Gary Anderson, and you mix that with the whole staff with Gennaro Guilford and Justin Anna and K-Pop. I mean, it's a dynamic group. But all you have to do is look at how big he is, and then you line him up next to the other D linemen, and you can see why we're trying to build a wall in front of Ciale and Isaiah and Jack, and all the linebackers that are there, Ace and Micah, and I mean, Miles. There's so many linebackers that can make a lot of plays, and from the inside and outside, we added some guys too. So the strength, I think there's a lot of strength and potential in the linebackers. These D linemen will keep the O-line away from them and let them do their deal.
You know, I talked to Spencer Need about his nephew, Kean Need, the tight end. And Spencer, for those who haven't watched for a long time, an All-American and a star with the Rams blocking the way for Marshall Faulk on that Greatest Show on Turf team, he said about Cam, he's a good pass catcher, he says, but he will put his hand in the dirt, and he will beat people to a pulp and can really, really block. What will he add to this tight end group? Because I know you've needed some depth at tight end.
Well, I think that's the key. You look at him; he looks like Spencer. He's big, just like that, and he's a no-nonsense guy. But he's big and he can run and he has soft hands. That usually does well for the tight ends and controlling the line of scrimmage for us, but then also being able to get on a route and catch a ball. So I think he'll be joining a great group of tight ends. And honestly, A-Rod and Fessy and the group can use him in different ways. And Gilbride, they can find different ways to. With you guys were there seeing in spring, I think it just gives us more options to look at. But he does bring a good physical part of the game, which we are excited to welcome. And I mean, it's a really good group. And then you have Reggie, what he can do. He's extremely. I think you look at him, he's extremely gifted in finding the ball and coming down with it. And he has a lot of big play possibilities. That's what he did at Snow College. He just turns, a third of his catches into touchdowns.
BYU football head coach Kalani Sitake is on BYU Sports Nation live from the Idaho Falls Fan Fest. Coach, maybe you've heard or noticed that everybody has an opinion on social media these days. I know, super surprising, but also not shocking that with success, typically people are wanting to examine, like, well, why? Why the significant turnaround for BYU? How are they able to do this so well? And then how are they getting all of these great players? There's something fishy going on. What is your response to all of the rhetoric out there on why BYU football has been able to be so successful with the combination of NIL, the booster support, obviously team culture, and then the winning that comes along with it?
Well, I think I'm glad people are concerned in different ways, but I don't really check it out on social media, but a lot of people tell me about it. So it's usually a good sign when people are talking about you, and so I'm not worried about it. I just know, why aren't people complaining about our signing class last year and who we brought in last year and the year before? I can say that the move to the Big 12 has definitely helped us. And when we announced it, that was a good help. That gave us a little bump. But now that we're in it and, even after the first year, we found success in recruiting and bringing people from the portal. There's really not a lot of excuses why not to come to BYU anymore. I think everybody's trying to find them, and they're starting to realize that there's not very many to look at. And so maybe they're coming up or making up some. I have no idea. But the truth is we're just going to keep doing what we do. I'm not focused on the end result or the wins and losses. I'm focused on the culture and focused on the system that we have in place, the process that we have to go through, making sure our guys work hard, and then the results should work out in our favor. If we can play at our best, we can live with whatever the results will be. And I still think there's a lot of room to make up from last year. We didn't play our best last year, and that's my job. So we got to figure that out.
You always talk about bringing guys in and that BYU can be a springboard to get where they want to go. So that's certainly part of it. Since the last time we all talked, 9 different BYUs got professional opportunities between the NFL and the CFL. How important is that to the program for guys to succeed at the next level and to have opportunities?
Well, I think it's important. I think the main thing is for them to make a roster. So if they can make a roster, that'd be great. But in the NFL, it's timing, and I anticipated more guys getting drafted and things like that. But I'm excited that guys are getting into a camp and that they were able to choose from the options that they had, which probably gives them a better idea of where they can go and make a team. And so I know that the goal is just to get into a camp and prove yourself and show it on the field. As our guys are good at being competitive and earning a spot. I've seen them, so I have a lot of confidence that a lot of those guys will make the squads. But the goal is to make sure that they're at their best and that they can perform well. But then when they leave here, that they do it with a lot of pride that they played at this program and that they were able to represent all these amazing fans and their families well and the church. And so we have a lot of people that committed to that, and it's going to do well for them whether they're in the NFL or they're working in the business, or they're working in a law firm, or they're working in accounting, whatever it is, they're gonna represent really well.
Kalani, will finish with this. Everybody knows Jake Retzloff is your clear starter, but a lot of questions are starting to surface. What does the head coach and the staff think about those behind Jake? Because again, we know how depth is so critical for a college football team. So how are you feeling about things behind your clear starter, Jake?
Well, we want competition at every position, and so that it doesn't really matter. I know a lot of focus goes on quarterback, especially at BYU. You know this, Blaine. But,
yeah, oh yeah.
But the competition will make sure that you get the best guys playing. And I think the days where everybody's trying to position it out and say this guy should play when he becomes a junior or a sophomore, that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, do it on the field, perform on the field, and then and develop and find ways to get better. And then we want to get this QB factory up and running again, you know. And it was doing well for so long, but we want to make sure that we make it super quality, and that means that we have to have the best guys there, and we have to retain our best guys too. So in a time where there's an open transfer portal, people can just go wherever they want. We want to be able to retain guys, and most of the guys that will want to stay at BYU are here for different reasons other than the cash and the money.
Coach, always great to talk with you. We appreciate you once again enduring BYU Sports Nation and the two of us specifically here today.
I love that you said that did you say muscular?
He said I was muscular.
Okay, that's.
And Kalani is.
But I'm not getting any compliment. So it's okay. I'll take hefty as a compliment. So this is Kalani Sitake, hefty, signing out.
Signing out.
Love you guys. Go Cougs.